Central High School Foundation. Really want to thank you guys for joining us today. Obviously, with the current state that we are in, we've had to cancel all of our reunions. So we've worked hard as a staff to go ahead and put together some Affinity reunions. They've been very popular. This will be taped, just so you know. That's full disclosure. Many people won't be able to join tonight, but they will be watching this later on, and it will be on our website. So again, really want to thank everyone. Hi, Ahman. I just saw Ahman join us. Just really want to thank everyone for coming out. And I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Noelle, and she's going to go ahead and get started.
Hi, Eagles. I'm Noelle. I am the Events and Alumni Relations intern for the foundation. This is super special to me because I too graduated from Central in 2018, and my freshman and sophomore year I was on the swim team. I want to welcome you all and thank you for coming from all over the country. I am streaming today from Fremont, Nebraska. I am currently a senior at Midland University studying arts management. Before we get started, I wanted to go over a couple of the Zoom features. On the bottom control panel, you will see on the bottom left, I believe, you have two little buttons, a microphone button. We ask that today you keep yourself muted, just in case the dog comes barking in. And then we do have the video button, and we ask that you keep that on so we can share the smiling faces and be able to see each other throughout the evening. A couple other things, you will find a chat icon on the bottom. You can use this. Feel free to type any questions, comments, or memories to share with the group, but remember to check who you are sending it to. There should be a little toggle menu that you click and a pop-up menu comes up, and you can check to see who you're sending your message to. If you would like to share something with the whole group, then you click everyone. If you would like to share with either Josh, Michelle, or I, if you have any questions, you can click on our names and we will get that directly, and it'll be a message just between the two of us. There is also another feature on the bottom. It should be close to the chat icon is the reactions icon. You can use these to interact throughout the evening. You can either use an applause button or a thumbs up. So if we are ready to get started, I will like to see some thumbs up or applause, see those reactions to get us going. I see a thumbs up from Michelle, from Rick, Roger, Maurtice. Awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. So before we get started, I wanted to give you a little bit of background about the foundation. Many of you already know we started in 1996 to support the present and future Central students. And today we are even more committed to preserving the values of a Central high school education. The foundation supports the school through many activities like building relationships with alumni, fundraising, student scholarships, teacher classroom grants, and a whole lot more. And we love to be able to work with you guys. We are so proud of the accomplishments that our students, staff, and 35,000 alumni achieve every day. Your patronage not only supports Central, but it also strengthens Eagle Nation. So thank you for supporting us by being here today. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce our special guest host for the evening, Howard Borden. Howard graduated from Central in 1967. Howard has gone on to become a large name in the world of sports broadcasting. He called the College World Series at Rosenblatt Stadium on the Creative Sports Network from 1996 to 2004. During the College World Series, he hosted a daily special program in which he interviewed about 50 to 55 current and former players, radio broadcasters, coaches, and college baseball experts. Howard also hosted a radio show on KOBM 1420 AM and 94.5 FM where he covered mostly baseball and football, as well as the play-by-play voice for high school basketball and baseball tournaments. Much like Central, Howard was known for his traditions. Howard always began a countdown for an interview and used an old-school tape recorder. Howard holds many dear memories about the Rosenblatt and also Central, and we are so thrilled to have him as our host tonight. Good evening, Howard. How are you doing?
Well, good evening, Noelle. It is a pleasure to be with everybody. Excited to be a part of the Affinity reunion with the O Club and all the former student athletes. It's a great thrill to be here tonight.
Good. We are so happy to have you here. Howard, how did your time at Central help equip you to become successful in what you went on to do after you graduated?
I think for every student, the tradition of excellence of the education, the inspiration provided by the teachers, that was the cornerstone for all of us. It's carried on through all of our careers. That's what I'll remember the most. Plus, of course, our tremendous football, basketball, baseball teams, cheer, everything. It was fantastic during the mid-'60s. It was just part of the whole culture.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, before we hop into the history of sports at Central, I believe we have a special interview.
Yes, we do. And I see Ahman Green. Ahman, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Before we talk to Ahman, want to talk a little bit about some of Ahman's great achievements at Central. Well documented as an elite football player, high school, college, and professional levels. During his years at Central, he was a World Herald two-time All-Nebraska first-team selection, a first-team USA Today and Parade Magazine high school All-American, a Gatorade Nebraska Player of the Year, and the 1995 World Herald Nebraska High School Male Athlete of the Year. Ahman also was a state champion in the 100 and 200 meter dash at the state track meets. During his years as a Nebraska Cornhusker, selected to the All Big 8 first team in 95, the All Big 10 first team in 97. He had a 12-year, three-team pro career, four-time NFL pro selection, became the all-time leading rusher for the Green Bay Packers, inducted into the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. But beyond football, Ahman has created foundations in order to enhance the quality of life for children, their families, whose lives have been touched by hardship and terminal illness. His foundation's wonderful focus on cancer research, youth development, dedicated to charities that make a positive impact on communities. Ahman is also extremely active with Alzheimer's Association, Make-A-Wish Foundation, Boys and Girls Club, Wounded Warriors, Children's Hospital of Wisconsin and Nebraska, food pantries, youth programs, adult programs, and adult wellness. Currently owner of D1 Green Bay Sports Training and another one opening soon in Omaha, Nebraska. Currently, Ahman is head coach of esports at Lakeland University in Wisconsin. All I can say is to Big 3-4 Ahman. I can just say it. I can see it now at Central. Green at the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50. He's going all the way for another Central touchdown. Ahman?
Oh man, appreciate that, Howard. That was that brought me back.
Let me ask you this: the experiences at Central for you.
Yeah.
What about some of the things that really stick out to you, Ahman?
Oh man, I say some of the things that stick out to me being a Central grad is knowing that my mom, my brothers, my sister, my nieces and nephew, we all walk the same hallway. So just knowing that I was a generational eagle and I was able to represent Omaha Central once I decided to go to Nebraska, and then having a great opportunity to be drafted into the NFL, to play football and represent, again, Nebraska and Omaha Central. It was always funny having conversations with my teammates. They saying, I tell people where I was from, they'd be like, Omaha, what? There are black people in Omaha? I was like, yeah, of course, man. Like, get over it, yeah. So it was always interesting to have conversations with guys from Texas, from California, from Florida, and fill them in about Omaha Central. I'll tell them stuff like, man, Gail Sayers went to my high school, God rest his soul now, and Bob Gibson. And they'd be like, what? Are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. This was the type of people that we had at Central, the type of talent. Marlon Brando, I say that to people. They'd be like, what? Whoa, the Godfather. They're all, flipped out about that. But I just tell them about the atmosphere that was at Central that helped me basically develop me to get ready to go to Nebraska. I mean, it was all-inclusive campus back then. I was friends with every social group that you would see on campus, from the athletes to the nerds to the geeks to, everybody, to the preppy kids to the kids that just didn't know how to fit in. I knew everybody. I was friends with everybody, and that's how I was raised. And same here with my team here. This is my team behind me. They're practicing. We have a team of Rocket League players that's about to kick off here in about 45 minutes. And I'm gonna break down film with my Madden players here once I'm done talking. And I'm bringing that same development here, that it's an all-inclusive environment, that no matter your background, you're welcome. And then also you get to learn and build yourself into an adult and into a well-rounded human being, being at the college level, and also being in the esports program here at Lakeland University.
Well, man, all the mentoring that you receive, that you are now mentoring people, youth and student athletes in your daily life. Quickly, just thoughts on some of the heartfelt things you're doing with some of your charities, which are absolutely wonderful, and what you're doing to become a full man, not in the classroom, the playing field, but in the community as well now, man.
Yeah, some from the time I got drafted in NFL, beyond being, dreaming the dreams of being a player, I was always thinking about how I want to help the communities that I'm a play in. And it started in Seattle, and it started in a place where in Omaha, I was a member of the Boys and Girls Club. And so in Seattle, in Green Bay, so in Seattle, Washington, when I got traded to Green Bay, and down in Houston as well, I was always making sure I was going to the local Boys and Girls Club to basically go hang out and find out where they need help in programs and development there. And then if they needed support from me and my teammates, because every NFL team supports the Boys and Girls Club program. So I made sure that I made the initiative that I always made the first reach out to a local branch to say, look, I was a member. I loved being a member when I was a kid, growing up there down in the Fontenelle area, 16th and Grace, going down to that Boys and Girls Club. And that's where I was a North Omaha Boys Club Bear. And we won a city championship there playing Little League football. But every day going there, shooting pool, hanging out, learning things about myself, learning things about my friends, and learning things about how you need to carry yourself, was all, between my mom and dad. And then the boy, going to the Boys and Girls Club frequently was something that, helped create the adult that you see right now. So I made sure in all the cities I was in, Green Bay being the one I lived, I'm still here now in the Green Bay area, and was the ones I was able to really, get in connection with and do a lot of events with them over the years. So for my time here in Wisconsin now, it's been 20 plus years, and I've been able to do a lot of fun events throughout the years and continue to spread the development and the mentoring that I've always been a part of since I was a kid.
Ahman, I can speak for every Central High School alum. We are so proud of you for all of the accomplishments that you've done throughout your whole life. There are many more, and you've got to promise, when we get back to real sports, real crowds, you've got to come back to Seaman, and we got to see you at Seaman for some big-time football games, Ahman.
I'm down for that. I'm definitely down for that.
I'm down for it too, my man. We want to thank Ahman Green. Thank you for joining us this evening. We really appreciate everything you do, Ahman.
I appreciate it too, as well. And thank you for having me on this stream tonight.
You bet. That's Ahman Green, always number 34 with the Central High Eagles. Central alums and fans, my name again is Howard Borden, graduated in '67. A lot of memories about the school. I also was the sports editor of the yearbook in 1967. I got kidded a lot, of course, for all my wonderful predictions that never came true in sports. They threw them in the trash when I graduated. But anyway, we've got a great show for you this evening. We talk about the glory days of Central. Let's take a look at some of the history. We thought it'd be fun to talk about our beloved Eagles Nest. Central's first football team organized in 1887. But their first season wasn't until 1898 when they played 6 games against Bellevue College, Lincoln High, Tacoma, Council Bluffs, and Des Moines twice. They only lost 1 game and declared themselves the champs. In 1899 and 1902, the football team won the Iowa-Nebraska Interscholastic Football League Championship. They have gone on to win multiple state titles since. In 1949, the team had their biggest comeback year in 4 years, but were defeated in the following year. One of the more recent renovations to the campus was the addition of Siemens Stadium, which was a project of $15 million and has been hosting games since 1905. That field has provided so many opportunities for young Eagles. We all know how diverse Central is, but did you know in 1937, the school had a roller skating club? I mean, I couldn't believe that, but it's true. They practiced at the West Farnham skating rink. Other eclectic clubs included the Ski Club, founded in 1965. In 2002, they added skateboarding club, rugby, and taekwondo. Wouldn't those have been interesting when you attended? Before it was a sport, soccer was just a club sport founded in 1983, but eventually nicknamed the sport of kick in the grass. After later being recognized as an official team, they took the state title in 1992. Central has always stuck out from the crowd, and in the world of high school sports, the track team has always been a step ahead. Yes, in 1910, the track team won their first state title, but it was debated at the time since many other teams were not allowed to compete due to a smallpox outbreak. Over the past 110 years, both boys and girls track teams have earned over 20 state titles. Another team that has been a slam dunk is state basketball, with their first title in 1905. In 1912, the gym club was formed and high school student associations began to fund athletic events. And almost 11 years later, the Girls Athletic Association, Girls O Club, and Athletic Boosters were formed as well. And in 1923, teams from Central were recognized as the Purple and eventually the Hilltop. It wasn't until 1926 that Central students were the Eagles. Other teams that have made history at state championships are golf, tennis, cross country, and how could we forget wrestling? It is no doubt to anyone here that there is something unique about being an Eagle. In 2008, Sports Illustrated saw our uniqueness as well and put Central in the top 10 high school athletic programs in the country. It is so rewarding to see hard work and dedication pay off. And there's no doubt that Eagle athletes have made a positive impact on our beloved Central High School. We know that you have some great memories of your time on the field at Central. As we continue through the rest of the evening, we would love for you to use the chat feature to share your name, where you are streaming from, what year you graduated, what sport you were in, and your favorite memories. We ask at this time you do not unmute yourself to share, as there might be an opportunity for that later. Really want to again thank Ahman Green for being our first guest tonight at our reunion. We have some other wonderful guests to visit with. One that I'm very proud of. I had the opportunity to call his games at Creighton Baseball. I had an opportunity to call some of his games during the College World Series, class of 1990. I'm sending out a hug to my main man, shortstop, and in the outfield, Kamara Barti. Kamara, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
It's good to see you. Regards to the family. I know you've got a great career going on at the pros with the Phillies now. I can remember those days under Jim Henry. They were absolutely fantastic. But here's some interesting information about Kamara. Believed to be the first Central to graduate to play in Major League Baseball games, the Speedy Barti made his mark as a rangy outfielder for 3 teams and a coach for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Central All-State player accepted a scholarship to Creighton, helped the Blue Jays to their only appearance in the 1991 College World Series. Drafted by Baltimore in 93, he made his Major League debut with the Tigers in 96. Over parts of 6 seasons with the Tigers, Reds, and Rockies, Barti became best known for his speed on the base paths and great slick defense. He swiped 36 bags in his career, successful on 2/3 of the attempts. In 1996, he led the American League in range factor, a measure of ground covered in the outfield. Now he's passing on his nows to the next generation of players. He spent 9 seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates minor league base running outfield coordinator and managed the team's Class A affiliate in 2011. 2017, he returned to the Bigs as the Pirates' first base, outfield, and base running coach. Now Kamara is a minor league coordinator with the Philadelphia Phillies. Kamara, would you like to unmute again? How are you doing, Kamar? It's great to see you. Graduated in 1990. What were your thoughts and memories of being a student athlete at Central?
It's really similar to what Ahman was talking about. Just the fam, just having a camaraderie and having friends from all diversities. It was just, we saw everybody. We were all tight. I'm just having goosebumps seeing these faces on here now, because I'm seeing guys. I'm seeing people I graduated with. I'm seeing people that I actually idolized, and I'm seeing coaches that have passed, coaches that were there when I was there, and I'm just having goosebumps just looking at this. But yeah, just everything about Central made me who I am today, and I'm so proud to be be an Eagle. And I'm just loving this right here. This is awesome. This is one of the good things about what the craziest we've been going through. The fact that I was able to get on this, because I don't live in Omaha anymore. So just to get on this and see these faces, I'm speechless. I'm literally speechless. I'm loving this.
Let me ask you this, Kamara. Any special moment that you had with one of the coaches at Central that maybe you can share with us all, something that helped you become not only a better athlete, but a better student and a better person in the community, which you are?
Well, I don't know if it made me a better person, but I bet you everyone on here has a Willis Reed story. So, and that ain't a good thing. But no, just as far as a coach, not necessarily. I mean, I had all kinds of things with coaches, and again, a lot of the people I had interactions with that guided me were, I mean, outside the coaches. The marketing department, the DECA department was really influential in my life. Mr. Buns, Mr. Gaylor, who's probably in his 80th year there now, but I think he just retired. So, but no, just the teachers there, and understanding Miss Shell Pepper, Coach Dominguez. I see Coach Stan on the call right now. It's just there were so many adult guidance counselors. They were all counselors, and it was just an accumulation of everybody that had an impact on me at Central that led to me to go to Creighton and blessed me to get a little bit of time in the big leagues as a professional baseball player. But like I said, I'm shell shocked seeing all these faces on here right now.
Well, Kamara, that what you learned at Central and what Jim Henry and Todd Wenberg recognized in you, and such a small world, calling your games. You remember you went out to Los Angeles to win that regional and to come back and to play at Roosevelt. That final little thought, what was that like the first time marching out onto the field before you're going to play Clemson on that Saturday? The stadium was shaking, Kamara. It was shaking.
Well, just the fact that the fact that we made it, and the fact that I grew up in Omaha. My dad was actually a coach at Creighton in the late 70s. So I literally grew up on the Creighton campus, and then just to see all the fanfare and everything hyping us up. And while we were in LA, when we beat USC, and we knew we were gonna run through Hawaii. We still had one more game to go in LA, but we knew that wasn't gonna happen. We knew we were gonna run right through Hawaii, which we did. I think like 15-8 or something. Just to know that we were coming home, and again, the fact that I grew up going to Rosenblatt all my life, and then to come home after my freshman year and actually say that I'm actually going to be playing on the field that I grew up watching, it was unbelievable. And the fact that and how Omaha embraced us that time, it was very cool. And there were a lot of Omaha products on that team, which made it even more special because a lot of us grew up going to those games. But yeah, it was a good time. I had a really good time with that, and it's one of, with exception of maybe making my major league debut, and making the varsity basketball team in Central as a junior. Those are probably my two best highlights. Football team didn't want me. I was too little.
Kamara, we thank you very much. And for all of us, that special moment, though, as you talked about, a Central High Eagle to the World Series and to the bigs. We're so proud of you, Kamara. Proud of all the things that you're going to do the rest of your career in the community. We thank you very much for being a part of our celebration tonight.
Thank you. And I thank you to every one of these people on this call. You know who I'm talking about, who I looked up to my entire time. I know I'm looking a lot of them in the eyes right now. And I just want to thank all you guys for your impact in my life, because there are a lot of them on this call right now.
Come here, one final thing.
18 Salernos on this call too, all of them.
When we get back to baseball, when Central plays baseball again in the spring of 21, you've got to come in. You've got to reap your Eagles on.
I will. Thank you guys. I appreciate this. It means a lot.
Thanks a lot to Kamara Barti for being with us. We really appreciate everything he does. Well, we're going to continue right now with some great excitement, something that I had already graduated. Jo DeStacco. She came on board and joined the Central faculty in 1968, spent her 33 career at Central, initially teaching business education courses, sponsoring the cheerleaders. She established Central's pom-pom squad in 1968. And as girls' interscholastic athletics became a Nebraska reality, she moved quickly into the role of coach. Three things really stand out. She was Central's first golf coach in 1971, first girls track coach beginning in the same year, first girls soccer coach in 1986, success after success. Her track teams won state championships 7 times, came in second 5 times, went undefeated for 6 seasons. Her recognition by the Nebraska Coaching Association include Track Coach of the Year in 79, 80, and 81, and overall Girls Coach of the Year in 84. She served on scholar athlete committees of the Greater Omaha Sports Committee since 1977, chairing it for the past 20 years. Served on selection committees for the Nebraska Sports Hall of Fame, the World Herald's Top 100 Nebraska Athletes, the Outland Trophy. Her own induction into the Nebraska Sports Hall of Fame came in 2002. After being nominated to the Central Hall of Fame in 2009, Jo was then nominated to Omaha Public Schools Athlete Hall of Fame in 2011. The Central High Track Meet was recently named after her. I also want to say, before we visit with Jo DeStacco, Jo, happy birthday to you, Jo. Well, you can unmute that, Jo, your button there. Let me ask you this. What are some of your favorite memories at Central as far as being a coach and organizing all those activities?
Oops,
Hello?
sorry. Yep,
Yeah.
there we go.
There we go. What can I say?
Yeah, about some of your activities as a coach and organizing all these things, and then watching you plant the seeds and how they grew throughout the years.
You know, I came to Central and all we had was cheerleaders for the girls. And then I started and in 1971, no one knew a lot about sports. And I was an Iowa basketball player, and that was about it. And I had so much help with all the wonderful guys. I still have the note. Carmen Orduna was my first state champion. Joe Orduna was playing for the pros at the time. He actually wrote up a workout and sent it to me to tell me how I should work her out. I had so much help from all the guys, team Vince Orduna, and they were just so helpful getting started. A lot of fathers, and I think that was the whole thing. Then I was blessed with the most wonderful girls you could ask for. Not only were they athletes, they were fantastic people. And you couldn't help but love them. And with all of that, we just kept going and going and going. That's the track team. The golf team, I can't say we ever won much, but I sure had a lot of fun. And it was awesome. The best kids. Central High has the best kids. And I'm so fortunate I could be part of all this wonderfulness. I see Ahman Green. Loved Ahman Green. He will tell you, come here, Barti. You know, I see this. We've had so many wonderful athletes. And I've had so many athletes, you know, starting off, and you asked me some of them. One of my favorite things from the beginning, young lady by the name of Sheila Miller, now Estes. She was a shot putter and a sprinter, if you can believe that. And we were at the state track meet, and she qualified for the 200, but she was still out the shot put bit. I came out and I said, Sheila, they're waiting for you. She's like, I can't get my form down. I said, just shove that thing. And she shoved it, was a state champion. She ran over to the track. She was a state champion 200 meter. How many people can say they won 2 state championships in 2 and 5 minutes? I mean, this is the sort of thing. Then I went out with Jackie Washington. Outstanding. She ended up running for the U.S. national track team. I've had so many people like this, and I see Mallory. I mean, when you have the Ivies, Maurtice Ivy and Mallory Ivy and Jessica Haynes, awesome. Wanda Hartzell, her record in the 800 was broken just a couple years ago, and she graduated in 1981. So I can't say enough. I just had wonderful, wonderful kids at Central High, and what can I say? I was just so lucky that I was honored to have a position at Central. Great people.
Let me ask you this, Joe. Just listening to you and your enthusiasm, where do you still get all of the energy to work with, at the time, teenagers, getting an education, getting their activities, being a role model, helping them grow? That had to be really something, that energy, that flow that you had with your student athletes, because you speak very highly of them. They still speak very highly of you and what you've contributed to Central, our school.
Well, I just have to, that's the one thing Central had. We were a very diverse school, and we didn't care. You don't even care what color. You love them all, and you treat them all the same. And what can I say? They were wonderful kids, and I don't know. I enjoyed them so much. I enjoyed being with them, and I think that's the whole thing.
Let me ask you this, Joe, what does it mean to be nominated both into the Central and OPS Hall of Fames? That's a very unique, what I would say, combo.
Yeah, I was highly honored. There isn't any question. Central, I love. Dr. Moeller was my principal for 29 years. Great teachers, great students. What more can I say? And then I was very honored then to go on to the Omaha Public Schools athletics. I was very honored. Then, of course, the Hall of Fame. And I've been on the Hall of Fame board since 2002. But now I get to try to get all these kids in honor. So, and I had so many.
One final question for you, Joe. Anything now that you would say to our student athletes and students and athletes at Central as they are working through as a student, getting involved in activities and in things in the community as they build now, as they matriculate through Central?
Like I say, winning was so awesome, but it's kind of fun, the funny little stories that you have along the way. And I was told my kids every year before practice started, I had a young lady by the name of Rose. Rose couldn't run very fast, but she loved being out there with us, and she was just a quiet little soul. And she practiced every night, and I could only run her at duels, but I did that. I didn't want to cut anybody. I wanted to keep everybody that wanted to run. And the funny part of it was it was at a district meet, and I didn't have anyone. Back then, sometimes the girls, the 800 was kind of a distance run for sprinters, and the distance people didn't run. Making a long story short, I put Rose in. I didn't have anybody else. Rose ran, and she came in 6th place. Now in track, you get 1 point for 6th place. Well, anyway, Rose got 6th, and we won that district track meet by 1 point.
That is a great
And
story.
I'll tell you about my sweet champion girls. They put Rose, carried her around the track. And I say, if you put yourself into it, one day you'll have your day in the sun, and stick with it. Don't give up on things. Too many people give up, just stick with it and come out with a smile on your face. Always a smile. That's my whole point as a teacher. You walk in the door with a smile on your face, and you'll get smiled back. A frown, and they'll frown back. So same thing with coaching. Just good attitude.
Joe, we thank you very much for everything that you've enriched Central High throughout the years and coming years as well. Again, congratulations, and we thank you for being part of our reunion this evening. Thank
you for having me. It was so awesome to see you. You graduated the year before I came, and to see Ahman and Kamira. Like I say, thank you for letting me be part of such a wonderful school. Thank you.
Absolutely. Again, we thank Joe DeStacco for being part of our reunion tonight. Now, we have the pleasure to bring to our position Maurtice Ivy, a 1984 graduate. Maurtice A. Ivy, noteworthy as a high school, college, and professional athlete. She is presently assistant basketball coach and internship coordinator at UNO. She was the highest scoring player for her 4 years at Central, putting in 1,928 points on the board. She started all 4 seasons at Central, finishing with 50 straight victories and 2 Class A championships. The World Herald named her High School Athlete of the Year in 1984. In addition to her basketball prowess, she earned 6 gold medals in track, helping her team win 2 state championships. Her college career resulted in her being Big 8 Player of the Year in 1988, Kodak All-American in 87 and 88, a member of the All Big 8 team in 86, 87, and 88. Maurtice earned her BA in Communications from Nebraska-Lincoln and her MA in Health, Physical Education, and Recreation at UNO. Beyond her athletic, academic life, Maurtice has been in the forefront of community service and youth development at Head Start and the YMCA. She was inducted into the Nebraska Black Sports Hall of Fame, the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame in 1998, and the Omaha Public Schools Athletic Hall of Fame in 2006. And currently Maurtice has her Ivy League youth sports program underway as well. Maurtice, welcome aboard. Great to see you. And again, all the things that you've accomplished, and we've listened to some of our student athletes and teachers as well. What are some of the things that you remember about your time at Central as far as learning from the teachers from the educational standpoint and then getting into your athletic situation as well?
Well, thanks for having me on. I think before I even get started, I wanted to just acknowledge my coaches who have been so instrumental in my life. I wanted to also, my sister's on board. Michelle, thanks for getting us together. Kamar, his dad, I have his dad with me on my board for Ivy League. So thanks for sharing your pops with me. Tell your mom I said hi. And Roger, I wanted to say sorry for your loss. Yeah, we lost a good one. So I'm sorry. Now you're gonna have to repeat your question again because my memory is getting.
When you were at Central that were an inspiration to you from some of the teachers and from some of your coaches that helped you grow not only in the classroom, but develop your skills as an athlete as well, and then you've carried out in the community and everything else that you've done since?
Well, for sure, 2020 has been an interesting year. I mean, I lost my head coach, Coach Simrad, my basketball coach. I mean, and so, and then, he obviously was, part of putting together a dynasty. But I think when when I came to Central, I think that it was already an island of excellence. And so, the expectation was that we produce. And so, Coach DeSacco, Coach Stan, I think everybody there, and I think, I'm just going to echo what everybody's already said. Central, the culture at Central was like none other. I think that just having to be a part of that environment, that diverse environment where I think everybody was really colorblind. And it developed us into the people that we are today. I was fortunate enough for Labor Day to fly into Denver and hang out with our post players, Sarah Stoves, which is Sarah Gilmore right now. And we connect every year. And so we went out and hung out and did the lazy river. And I told her, like, people with my hue don't typically do that type of stuff because it was 40 degrees outside, but we hang out, and it's so genuine and so real. And it just it was such a wonderful experience. And I think about all the experiences I had, and honestly, none has been able to top my experience at Central High School.
Carrying that tradition of excellence, that island of excellence that you talk about, that has helped you from the situation at Central, going to Nebraska, and at university there. What about your experiences there, and then into coaching, and then now mentoring student athletes, just like you were mentored at Central and at Nebraska?
Yeah, I think Ahman talked a little bit about that. I mean, just the community that we were involved in. I think there were so many different pillars of the community that really kind of just helped filter us through a system. And I think at the time, and one of the things that I'm really trying to do right now with Ivy League is create those feeder programs again. There were really wonderful feeder programs and really good coaches that coached those feeder programs that really kind of, from a foundational standpoint, developed us at a really early age. And so we got to Central. I mean, that was like the plateau. I mean, so you had great coaches there. You had great mentors there. I mean, I think about Doc Moeller, and I got my first head coaching job at Peru State. He sent me like a page-long email just to let me know how proud he was of me getting my first head coaching job. And I mean, like that continued on, and it continues on. I think, you know, it doesn't matter how old we are. I mean, Coach DeSacco called me maybe, I don't know, 8-9 months ago and was like, hey, just wanted to kind of reach out and talk. And so, I mean, that love and that support continues on. And so that's what great mentors do. And Central was so, we were so fortunate to be there and just have an influx of those individuals that were so influential in our lives at that time.
Maurtice, we are so grateful for everything that you have done, obviously post-Central, post-Nebraska, at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, with all the community service things that you do, your new sports league academy. You keep up the good work. The Eagles always fly high. The purple, we soar. And it's always great to always connect with Central High Eagles, no matter what generation. We thank you very much. We're very blessed.
Thanks for having me.
Again, that is Maurtice Ivy, again, part of our reunion this evening. And we thank her very much. Last but not least, proud to bring, as he will unmute his mic, we will have on Roger Sayers. Roger, how are you doing this evening, Roger?
Very well. I'm doing good.
Well, it is great to see you, great to be with you. Before we kind of visit a little bit, want to enlighten everybody that in 1962 and 63, while competing for UNO, Roger Sayers won consecutive NAIA championships in the 100 meters, while also winning the 200 meters in 1963. In 1962, Roger was selected as a member of the United States track team, competing in dual meets, both against Poland and the Soviet Union. While an Eagle at Central, Roger set records in track, was selected to the All-City football team. Roger has been inducted into the University of Nebraska Omaha Hall of Fame, the Nebraska Black Sports Hall of Fame, the Omaha Sports Hall of Fame, and the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame. Roger's business pivoted, including a 26th career with the Union Pacific Railroad of Omaha, served City of Omaha as Director of Human Relations. Roger's community service activities have included board president of both the LaFern Williams Stage Theater and the Urban League of Nebraska, Nebraska coordinator of the United Negro College Fund, a member of the board of directors of Make-A-Wish Foundation of Nebraska. Roger was also twice selected as a recipient of an Outstanding Young Omaha Award, and Roger has continued his community service as a trustee of the Salem Baptist Church. Roger, kudos to you on everything that you have done. When you were at Central, focus in a little bit and enlighten us on what that experiences was like for you with the teachers and your coaches, and how it prepared you for things that you're doing currently, Raj.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to acknowledge everyone's thoughts and prayers with regards to the death of Gail. I really appreciate everyone's condolences, and certainly speaking with Gail in mind, I know it's hard to express how he felt about Central, only short of probably pride that I have in Central. To answer your question, Central provided a foundation for me to move forward at UNO and with regards to whatever I was doing in life at that point. One of the things, remembering that at the time, I came from basically Howard Kennedy school, which was all Black, from the 6th, 7th, and the 8th grade. And when you went into the inner city school at Central, the diversity there was phenomenal at that point in time. And you had to make some adjustments, at least I had to make some adjustments with regards to how you approach people, how you got involved, how you approached classes and extracurricular activities. Like Ahman, I tried to get involved in everything other besides football and track, and even some wrestling and everything like that. I tried to get involved in the social, the cultural aspects of Central. As a result, perhaps it paid off because I was elected vice president of the class for the graduating class of 1960. In terms of the foundation, we had the best teachers, the best coaches that I think that I've ever come across. The coaches cared. They had a lot of empathy for people. You could tell that even though back in those days, coaching ain't like it was today. It was hardball and rough, but they cared. You knew they had they had your best interest at mind. As far as the teachers, I can name 2 or 3 teachers that just made a difference in my life, even afterwards. Teachers like Miss Pratt, Miss McBride, Virginia McBride. As a matter of fact, she, I believe, quite frankly, was the one who kind of set me on a course to follow going on to UNO. In the 6th and 7th grade, I developed, for whatever reason, I'm not sure, maybe it was psychological, but I developed a speech impediment. And there were certain words, and even to the day, that I could not pronounce, whatever it was, for whatever reason, I just could not pronounce the words. And in English class, Miss McBride used to sit up and she would read poetry, she would read sonnets, she would read just the lesson to us. And when she came to certain words that she knew that the class, to a certain extent, maybe me, that was going to be difficult to understand and pronounce, she would change it. She would use the synonym for it to a certain extent. And I always use that as my way around these words that I couldn't pronounce. I started using synonyms and using words that I could pronounce, although they meant the same thing. And you can't believe how that embodied some strength in me with regards to how I approach classes from then on. My first year at UNO was a breeze. And I think that said it, because I'm not sure why I didn't have all A's in every class at UNO, because after I left Central, my first year at UNO was a breeze. I didn't have any problems with any class. And you cannot believe, as an incoming freshman at a university, first, and I was the first in the family to go that far, that how that set me on a course that provided me the stepping off point to something better in terms of the academic life, notwithstanding what's going on with the athletic part of it.
Let me ask you this, Roger, with your careers at the Union Pacific, all the boards you were on, everything that you have done, you have continued from the lessons learned at the excellence from the teachers and learning through adversity on the playing fields that carried you throughout the years, that continue to carry on in what you do now. So that's very unique. That's something that I hear a lot about all of our Central family, things that they look back on to reflect on Central, but how they've carried that Central Eagle pride and mindset into everything that they do.
Oh, absolutely. Right. And when I was at Central, remember, we didn't have the Siemens Stadium or anything like that. We didn't have ideal working training conditions. I mean, we had a track team that trained on the 4th floor at Central, running around the hallways. We played on a football field at the time that was probably, the track around the football field probably was a total of 200 yards. Had a lot of thorns, what we call cockleberries or birds at that time. And so we were able to succeed under some of the harshest and most difficult conditions, but we enjoyed it. The coaches they were able to instill in us the fact that, so what, we didn't have the best conditions and the best circumstances, but we could succeed as a team and as individuals, and we were able to do that.
Well, Roger, we want to thank you for joining us this evening. It was wonderful to reminisce with you. Again, special condolences from all the Eagle family to your family, and we will always remember Gail and everything he contributed at Central in his careers in business and the community forever. So we thank you very much, and go Eagles. We thank you very much for being with us tonight, Roger.
My pleasure, anytime.
And we want to thank all of our guests who joined us again tonight. I want to thank you. We appreciate everybody being with us this evening. Yes, the traditions of Central High continue in the dedication and enthusiasm of our alumni. On behalf of all athletes from history, thank you for your continued support of our program. It was a pleasure spending time with everybody this evening. Now, we come to the part of the evening where we would love to hear from all of you that have been watching us. At this time, if you would like to unmute your mic, tell us your name, graduating class, and what your favorite memory was being an athlete at Central High. We do ask that you try to make your story short and sweet so that we can give away opportunities to everyone who would like to share.
Coach Stan from Central. Coach Standifer.
Perfect, Coach. Tell us.
Okay. How you doing? I'm on. Can everybody hear me? Hi, Roger. I see you. First of all, I like to start off to saying I don't want to be too long here. I was blessed and honored to have an administration that I started with, and I end when I'll say that. But to Howard and Roger, I never met J.R. Nelson, but I will say this: a word to the wise should be sufficient. Okay. I'm not a Central grad. I'm a North High grad, but that's it. Start off with great. Was fortunate enough to have great leadership with Dr. Gayla Moeller. Dr. Don Benning was my mentor. Dick Jones, Al LaGreca were the administrators when I started in '71. Ended with Principal Jerry Bexton, Paul Pennington, Paul Simrad, and Ms. Dion Curtsey. I've been lucky and fortunate. I know that with Roger, he and I played poker for the last 6 or 7 years. He got all my money, but that's okay. Ron, his brother, we played from North High and UNO together. And Roger, for Gail, you know, he's always been in my heart and one of my mentors and people that I looked up to from the grade 6th grade on. As far as coach, I coach football, basketball, boys and girls, track, volleyball. To Maurtice, hey, 84, 85, those years with Jessica and all of you, thank you. And then 74 and 75 with the state basketball champions. And then in football was 84 with the first state championship, and probably one of the winning seasons since Gail and Roger left in the 60s. And to the IBAC High, I got fortunate enough to see some of the great IBACs, and I don't want to mention too many names, but I'll mention 3. Keith N. Jones, Calvin Jones, and of course, Ahman Green. And, you know, it's just been a pleasure, and it's been fortunate for me and blessed to coach at Central High School and be a part of that community and the education that Central has put out throughout the years and still do. This is my 18th year of retirement, and I'm still an Eagle to heart. So thank you for inviting me, and everybody on there. To Barty, your dad and I played in junior high, and I don't know if Ahman is on, but his dad and I played in the Shrine Bowl, and we called ourselves Batman and Robin. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach
Thanks for
Stan.
sharing.
Okay. This is Mallory. I wanted to go. This is Mallory Ivy Higgs, Maurtice Ivy's little sister. Thanks, Coach Stan. That was awesome. I definitely want to say hello to Coach DeSacco. I've been messaging you. I don't think you've responded back to me. Love you and miss you. Thank you for everything that you've always done for me. I want to say that it was an honor, one, to just go to Central, to be a part of the legacy of Central High, and then to be a part of the dynasty. That was, not only did I have to follow behind my sister, but I had to follow behind all of you that are on this call, in addition to many more that are not on the call. It was a privilege. It was an honor. I love it. You see, I've got my t-shirt on. Look. I had to go. I didn't have to go far. It was folded neatly and packed away. I don't even think I wore this one. But anyway, Central set it set so many, or paved the way for me in so many ways. I ended up with an amazing track career there, basketball and volleyball as well, but went on to University of Tennessee, go Vols. And then now I am here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a licensed therapist, definitely prepared by Central High School's education. I appreciate that. Work with Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield. I taught track for over 25 years in the community until I started working on my master's. And when I was in my clinicals, I had to give it up. And while it was difficult to give it up, part of me being a therapist, wanting to go back and give back into the community, in addition to get paid for it, right? To be a licensed therapist to student athletes. I think that is an area that is greatly needed, especially now, and to what some of the people on the call had mentioned, the coaches definitely made us work hard, but they made us feel loved, appreciated. And so it is a huge difference. And I can just see from the kids that I coached in the community, they didn't like me on the court. They loved me after the meets. And they all came back after college to just tell me how much they appreciated what, and how I was able to contribute to their lives. So I want to thank you all, give you all your flowers right now, and let you know I love, appreciate you all, and congratulations to each and everyone on the call.
Does anybody else want to jump on in?
Mike
Pat Salerno
Papadakis.
Sr. Oh, Pappy, how are you?
Good, good. My thoughts from Central was that it was the luckiest thing that happened to me. I'm almost 80 years old now, the class of 58, knew Roger and Gail. They were behind me, actually. And I wasn't a very good athlete. I tried out for anything and hardly made anything. But over the years, as I've gone through life, I've been a 20-year student getting upper degrees and been a law professor for almost 40 years. And as I look back on my life, right there on the hill, the fortress on the hill is the most important and best 4 years I ever spent. And it was because of the diversity of the student body and the understanding we were all on the same team trying to make Central better. And the preachers were trying to do that for us. That's my thoughts on Central.
Michelle, I can jump in if you want me to. Hello.
You're on.
Am I on or not? Oh, that's Patrick. Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
Pat Salerno Senior, you're on.
I'm on. Well, I just saw my son Pat on there too. Anyway, my point is simply that it was an honor for me to be a student and an athlete and a coach at Central High School. And it was a double honor for me to have our two boys, Pat and Mike, do the same thing, being students and athletes at CHS. School's made a big difference in our lives, and it's certainly played a significant role in all that I've been able to do, and as well as to two boys. So I'll pass it on to Pat if he wants to say something now.
I just want to hear about the catch Mike made at his feet, Salerno, Mike. Rodney Othout threw it, said he picked it off the ground. The only state championship the place ever won. Let's hear from you, Mike. Unmute yourself.
Oh. Not there, man.
Where is he? There he is. Mike Salerno, talk about that team.
No.
Hello? Mike?
I don't think he's on.
Yeah, he is. I'm looking at him. Anyway, listen, Dad, that was well said. All right, it was awfully well said.
1986 team.
There. Yeah.
You want to talk about the 1986 team?
Yeah, I want to talk about the fall '85 and the catch to beat Prep.
Well, that was a big team. Like there was a lot of really talented guys on that team.
Right.
Booga Bass. and
Sean Ridley
and
Othout.
a lot of guys that were going in D1 at that point.
Yeah.
And they were good. They were good players. They're really good players.
Yeah.
And I respected that. I felt lucky that I was part of that scene.
For sure. Oh yeah, you were junior, right? And right, so
I was a junior on that team.
Right. Well, you know what, Mike? I think that us guys from that class of '84, that class was between us. We showed them how to do that and just about got it done. And none of us were surprised that your group went ahead and kicked the door in. I'm not kidding you.
Well, Pat, okay. Yes, that's true.
Hey, come on. Anyway, that was good.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes. Okay. But having said that,
Mike's in New York City, by the way, Long Island.
Yeah, I live in Long Island now, so that's where I live today.
Salerno crew, thank you so much for joining us. We love all three of you, as you know. Jim, would you like to share anything?
Sure. I'm residing here in Fort Lauderdale, living the dream. And I was the Oak Club president in 1956, and I'm so proud of that.
Nice.
And
yes.
Football, wrestling, and track. I was fortunate enough to be on a wrestling team that won 3 state championships.
Oh my God!
And I won 2 individual championships myself.
Come on, dude! Give it up.
I've just had a great life. I love Central.
Oh.
Okay, thanks at all.
No, thank you so much for joining us. The next person I see is my boss. So Rob Likes, class of 1991, former Central quarterback. And Rob, you want to jump on and say your best memory on the playing field.
Thanks, Michelle. That's plenty of introduction right there. Great to see everybody. Rob Likes, class of 1991. I'm president of the foundation board right now, so I'm lucky enough to get to work with Michelle and everybody else on the foundation board and the staff, and we're very fortunate. I played baseball and football at Central. I was shocked that Coach Stan didn't mention me earlier when he was going through his list of top 3 football players. Football, I was the quarterback. I started 1 year and that was it. I'm sure most of the people I'm looking at right now started 2, 3, 4 years at Central. And, you know, it's funny. I feel bad with COVID right now. There's a lot of people out there that I had 1 year to play football to start. And all these people don't get their opportunity this year. So I feel bad for not just the great athletes, but the not so great athletes that don't get their one shot like I did. So loved playing football, loved my teammates, the diversity, not just of the school, but being part of the football team was just my favorite memory of all of Central. I loved it. I still have great friends that were on the team that I still run into at reunions and otherwise. Wouldn't trade it for the world. So I missed the first part of the program tonight, so I feel terrible, but thanks for everyone for joining, and I look forward to catching up with all of you shortly. Thanks, Michelle.
Well done, Rob.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We are so happy to be able to have this. Again, I'm Noelle. I'm the Events and Alumni Relations intern, and it was so fun listening to y'all interact and share memories. On behalf of the Central High School Foundation, we want to thank Howard for hosting and our special guests for their interviews. And we do not want to keep you, but we do want to remind you that support of the foundation keeps fun events like this rolling. So Generation C is our annual giving campaign, and details about how to join Generation C, if you wish, will be included in our thank you email, which you will receive this week. Thank you, Legends of Champ High. It was such a pleasure being able to hear and see your faces. And that's all we got for tonight. Thank you.